everyone, Stephanie here, coffee drinker, book lover, and reviewer of many things. And today I am going to talk about, all of the books that I read for 2024. So I use Storygraph, a fun little app. The cool thing about Storygraph is when you click the little pie chart thingy here, you can scroll through. I know this is terrible because I can't connect my phone to, I can't do all that right now. You can go through, so you have the different moods. First off, it tells you how many books you've read, and I read, I can take pictures and send them to myself and then put them up here. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do. So, I read 26, I read 62 books this year that were put into this app. I did read other books, like to my kid, like picture books and other, like, 5-minute story books and stuff. I'm not counting those. If I did, I probably read a lot more books than 62. That is roughly 20,771 pages. About 17 pages a day. No. Average time to finish. My average time to finish a book is 17 days. Some books are like, boop, and some are like, oh my gosh. I think it's because, like the fairy tale book that I was like, can't. And it shows the moods of the books. This is one of my favorite pie charts. It shows the moods of what kind of book that you're reading more of. And then you have the pace of the book. And the page number of the book. Like, if a book had, most of mine had 300 to 499 pages. And I'm taking pictures so I can be posting stuff up here. And then there's a place that shows your fiction versus your nonfiction. I read more fiction than nonfiction. Only 7% of my books were fiction or nonfiction. And then you have a nice little pie chart. Not pie chart, graph, to show all of the different genres that you read. And roughly how many. Fantasy wins. Autobiographies, biography, contemporary reference, children's. They're all about the same. I feel like graphic novels should be more. Hold on. Oh, okay. The manga I read wasn't considered. Okay. I was like, I saw graphic novels down at the bottom, and I was like, no, I read Fruits Basket this year, didn't I? There's a manga section. Yeah, so my top 3 genres are fantasy, romance, and manga. And mystery is, manga and mystery are right there next to each other. It shows the format. If you have the option to select the format that you're reading in, so like book form or audio or digital, like the ebooks. So you get to put that in. I don't really keep up with this, so it's probably wrong, but it says that because it says 60% of what I read this year was in print form, and you can click on that part of the. In all of these, you can click the portion of the pie charts that you want to look at, or the graph that you want to look at, and it'll take you to the list that it's saying is right now, I'm looking at the stuff that's print. Let's see. See, like right now it says that Echo North was print. It wasn't. I listened to that one. That was a pretty good book. Anyway, a few of those are definitely, I definitely need to change them. Maybe I should try to keep up with that a little bit better. And then it has a spot for most read authors. Yeah. And then it also gives you this little chart. Oh, hit the sound button before. To show the like your monthly average, I guess, pages read versus books, but in this form, I don't know what that's called. Is it graph? Anyway, so I read more books in January, or the most books in January, which sounds about right, because I'm all like, I'm gonna do this challenge, and then I'm like, I don't feel like reading this book. Oh, let's read this book over here. This isn't even part of my challenge. Let's do this one instead. And then if you do, there's also this part, if you decide that you're gonna rate your books, it shows your average ratings. I did not stick with this. I think I only did 5, it says 5 reviews, because that was at the beginning of the year, and then I didn't do any more. Because it's hard to, because like how I feel about a book when I read it, like whenever I'm done and I'm kind of just like, oh, or I'm like, oh my gosh, or oh, I didn't want it to end. That feeling goes away, and then I can like later go back and think about it. And I'm always like, I'll think about, I'll sit with that feeling, read something else, and then come back and review it. And then I never do. So that's why that happens. And, I just thought that was like, I love keeping track, okay? And then I will also have I'll be emailed soon. It's the 28th today. So I am probably not going to read anymore or finish any of the books that I'm reading right now. So there's that. It's better, I think. So I decided that I would make this video. The coolest part about this app is, if you go back to the spot that was like read, and it says that I read 62 books, if you click 62 books, it takes you to a full list of everything you've read this year. 63 books. Oh, that's right, it's 63. It hadn't updated, because I had just clicked that I finished Redwall. I've never went back and said that I did that, so here we are. I feel like I'm dark. Okay. So I read Redwall. You can go to my channel and see my thoughts on that. It's a very exciting book. There's a lot goes on in that book, and definitely recommend for your teenagers. I read Night of the Living Dummy, which it says that it's the 7th book in the series. I'm confused at what's the first book and what's the you don't have to read Goosebumps in order anyway, but Night of the Living Dummy, I thought, it would have scared me when I was younger, but yeah, it was good. I listened to The Christmas Party. This was a murder mystery. This book, it's definitely an adult book. It was good. I liked it. The way it was written, it kind of did like now versus then, and then it would go back and forth. So you got a little bit of the past so you understood what was going on. So it's about a group of friends, or used to be friends, when they were friends back in university or in college. We don't really go around saying university here in the US. They were at their friend's house, who still lived at her family home, and her little sister, who was 10, kept trying to join the party, and older sister had already started drinking, kept sending her upstairs, and then that sister had to go. And you only, like, whenever you start, you only know what our main character knows, and it's really hard. It felt kind of hard to keep things together. Thank you. I felt like I needed to have like a crime board, and like, okay, this happened. Or did this happen? And because when they all get back together, you start hearing different pieces of the story from the people who were there. And spoiler, you find out that she was drugged by accident. Our main character was drugged by accident, and then SA, and but he thought that she wanted him, but because she was, she thought she was talking to someone else, and a whole bunch of stuff happens. And then the whole reason why they're back together, that person has been too. So what? Then I'm not going to spoil that part, but you find out who the murderer is, and I was not a fan of who the murderer was. I was like, wait, what? Is not who you expect until like halfway through the book, you start being like, he's a little suspicious, but at the same time, you don't want it to be him or her. And then I listened to, this is going backwards, by the way. And then before that, okay, I listened to A Christmas Carol. You can see my video on that. And then I've been listening to Bobby Holmes books that are free on Audible. And then I listened to A Ghost of Christmas Secrets, The Haunting of Danielle. If you're gonna read or listen to The Haunting of Danielle by Bobby Holmes, I recommend reading them in order, because there were parts of this book I was like, wait, what? It was still a good story. I mean, I still enjoyed it, and she talks to ghosts, okay? And in this one, there are other people can see the ghosts also, and it gets pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie, that's what I needed. This light had turned. Okay. I read and listened to A Halloween Party by Agatha Christie. Wasn't my favorite. You can see my video on that too. I'm sad that it wasn't one of my favorite books. I love Agatha Christie. This one was just like, meh. And then I've been listening to the Poppy McAllister stuff. Oh my gosh, Poppy McAllister series by Libby Klein. I haven't gotten to it yet, but earlier this year I read like the 8th book in the series for the Halloween. It was Halloween book. I've started listening to the other ones too, and I read Midnight Snacks Are Murder. This is the 2nd book, because we're going backwards, remember? And this one made me tell my mom and grandma, you need to read these. This one was so funny, and there were some serious parts, but the serious parts are always like covered up by something funny happening. Like there's this one part where Poppy McAllister's aunt goes missing. Her great aunt, who in the first book, which I haven't gotten to, somebody was trying to put her in an old folks home because they're saying she's senile. And she's like, I am not. Well, something happened and she's a suspect in a murder case. And she goes missing. Like, she's gone. We don't know where she went. And so Poppy has to go looking for her. And each time she stops at one of the places that her aunt frequents, somebody gets in with her, like gets in the car with her. So they end up at one place and they take the church vehicle and there's like, it's like a party bus. It's hilarious. This one will have you cracking up. Like it was pretty good. I also listened to the first book in the Murder at, oh wait, what is this? The Beacon Bake Shop Mystery. Yeah, Beacon Bake Shop Mystery. This is the first book, and it was okay. I mean, I might read. I think I have read some of the other ones, but they're not as good as the Poppy McAllister ones. And then before that, I read the first book in the Poppy McAllister. I think that's why. Maybe if it wasn't sandwiched between those two, maybe I would have liked it better. Because then before that one, I read the first mystery in the Poppy McAllister murder. Poppy McAllister mystery. And it was the class reunions are murder. And that one wasn't as good as the second book, okay? But it is still really good. And each of those books have recipes in them that are like gluten-free and dairy-free. And I was like, oh, I gotta get these books in book form. Before that, I read Half a Soul. It is a Regency fairy tale. Like fairy. And this book was way better than I thought it was going to be, and it really excites me to want to read the second one. I definitely recommend Half a Soul. Yeah, it was so good. So good. It made me so happy. And like I said, I'm going to definitely have to find the second book so I can read it. And then before that, I read Stephen King's Fairy Tale, which I did like. It was a good book. It's just a little slow and compared to like everything else that I was reading. And so yeah, it took me a long time to read that one. Before that, I read Pumpkinheads, and that one was really good. I also have a video. Did I do a video on that one? Was that one on the list? No. This one I read for fun. I didn't even talk about this one. Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell. So I read a different book by Rainbow Rowell, and I wasn't like that. The other book that I read, I can't remember the name of it right now, but it sort of felt Harry Potter adjacent, and I wasn't a huge fan of that feeling, but I did want more. Like, I feel like there could have been more to the story. It just sort of like, and they lived happily ever after, and I'm like, no. There's gotta be more. This one was a graphic novel, and it is about these two best friends. One of them, I guess she's bi, but you meet several of her. Oh no, yeah, she's bi, and you meet several of her girlfriends and a boyfriend, and then the boy is he's been crushing on the same girl for like 4 years, and so as best friends, our main character girl is like, all right, you're gonna talk to her, let's go, and hyping him up, and keeps talking through like how to talk to her and all this stuff. And it's cute because by the end of the book they realize, they start talking about how, why they keep coming back to this job and all that stuff. And it was because of each other. And so, at the end of the book, they kiss. I felt like it was very, like, I saw it coming. And at first I was like, no, that can't be it. Because you meet two girlfriends of the main character girl. And, then you meet a boyfriend or an ex-boyfriend. And you're like, oh, okay. It's not talked about other than, this is an ex-girlfriend, this is an ex-boyfriend. It was really good. I liked it. Okay, and then before that, or at the same time, I listened to The Ghost of Marlowe House, which is the first book in the Haunting Danielle series, and it was really good. It's the reason why I started trying to find other books in the series that I could get for free. Like I said, don't read them out of order or else you get a little confused, but this first book was really good and it makes you want to read the next book. Before that, I read Dark Matters by Blake Crouch. I made a video on this book, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. It's kind of trippy, okay? Okay. I don't know what else to say. It was a good book. A little on the weirder side, but a good book. Then before that, I read Universal Harvester. I made a video on this one too. It's supposed to be a horror book, and I didn't feel like it was horror enough. Like, I felt like there needed to be more scare factor in this book. Especially since, like, the book that I got was from the library, and it had, like, the horror symbol. It's like, be careful, this is scary, like, and I was like, no, it wasn't scary at all. Then before that, I listened to... Let's listen to it? Did I listen to it? Or did I read it? I don't remember if I listened to it or read it. So, Lemony Snicket, I believe I made a video on this one too. I made a video about it, and, yeah. If you want to know my feelings on that book, you can go and watch that video. Before that, I listened to The Halloween Tree. It is on 2025's reading challenge as well. It wasn't on this year's challenge. I just went and found it on Audible because it was free, and I listened to it because I needed Halloween stuff to listen to. But it was good. I like it. Before that, I read Mischief... Stop, please. I read Mischief Nights or Murder, which is the 8th... That was what I was talking about. The 8th book in the Poppy McAllister series. That was on my 2024 reading challenge. And, that's what got my Poppy McAllister obsession going, I guess. Because it was really funny. Yeah. Poppy McAllister has 9 books in it, I believe. And you don't have to read them in order because there's not really a whole bunch of spoilers. But, Poppy has a boyfriend that she meets in the she meets him in the first book. I think they start dating in the second book. I'm not exactly sure how all that worked. And her mother-in-law of her husband that passed away comes and stays with her for a while and is like, there causes a bunch of drama. And one of them is, you can't be walking around like this. you're an ex-married woman and you should be in mourning. They take some serious things and turn them into funny things. And I like that you still hear the conversation of the serious, but with that undertone of it's gonna be okay. And I think that's why I like them. And then before that, I read Nancy Drew's Secret of the Mystery Clock. Secret of the Old Clock. I'm going to get it out eventually. And that was on the 2024 Preteen Teen Reading Challenge. You can't go wrong with a good Nancy Drew book. That's all I'm saying. And then before that, I listened to Echo North. I liked this one. And yeah. I don't think these are in order, because maybe they're not in order. I'm confused. It's okay. I've also listened to Echo North. I made a video on it. You can go watch that if you want more information, but it was pretty good. I liked it. It's a story within a story within a story. Anyway, and then I listened to the Homeschool Gone Wild Inspire Learning Through Living. This book was just because I've been thinking about homeschooling, and my kid is 4. We do a little homeschool activity in the morning, just to have a little schedule. And right now it's just easy. It's stuff she knows, but we're working on our writing, our penmanship, if you will. And then before that, I read Fruit Basket number 12. I made a whole video on Fruits Basket, because I read all of the manga for that series, and it's gonna be something that I go back to time and time again. I'm gonna need to get these books because I like reading them. Before that, I liked watching the 2 different adaptations of it, and yeah, it's good. It makes me have emotions. Before that, I read An Offer from a Gentleman. It's the 3rd book in the Bridgerton series, and the books are better than the TV show, I think. It's just how I feel. Before that, I listened to Homeschool Bravely, How to Squash Doubt. It says, how to trust God, and I had to click it because it had dots, and teach your child with confidence. Yeah. Another homeschool book. I don't know. They just give me courage to do what I think I need to do. Before that, I read Beyond the Isle of the Lost, the 5th Descendant book, Wonderland. I read this after I watched the show, and I'm pretty sure I made a video on this. Read the book first, because I feel like it will make the movie make a little more sense, but I don't know. I talked about in the video, there was some, I don't know. I also read Fruit Basket Volume 11 and Anne of Green Gables, the 1st book in the series. That one was on the Preteen Teen Reading Challenge of 2024, so I have a video on that too. Before that, I listened to the Viscount Who Loved Me, the Bridgerton #2 book. That one was definitely... I loved this one. The second book was so far my favorite one. There was so much bickering and I loved it. Fruit Baskets 10. I read Earth Magic, The Complete Guide to Your Natural Spells, Potions, Plants, Herbs, Witchcraft, and more. It was an interesting book to read, and I enjoyed it. I also listened to The Duke and I, Bridgerton 1, Fruit Baskets, Volume 9, A Wrinkle in Time. I made a video about that. Wasn't my favorite book, but it's still good, I think. Kind of. The Lake House. I really liked this book. Sort of, I don't know how to explain this one. I talked about it, though. I made a video about it. I liked this book. This is one of the books that I want to get in book form. Because I liked it. Fruits Basket, Volume 8, Gone Girl. That one I also did a video on because it was part of the challenge for 2024. I don't remember exactly. This one was good, and then I was like, whoa. I read Sinister Springs by Agatha Christie. It's a collection of short stories. It was pretty good. I feel like I wanted more of each story, but it was pretty good. Fruits Basket Volume 7, Fruits Basket Volume 6, Fruits Basket Volume 5. I listened to The Alchemist. I made a video on that. Before and Laughter, a life-changing story, did not change my life. We're going to move on. I made a video about that. A Flower Heart. Oh, I almost forgot about this one. I really liked this book, like enough that it's on my my wish list of books that I want in book form. And it had a really pretty cover. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Can't go wrong. Magic Lesson, the prequel to Practical Magic. That one was really good too. Like, I'm gonna have to get those books. Fruits Basket, Volume 4. A Touch of Darkness. I listened to, it's a first book in a saga. Listen to at your own risk and probably with headphones if you're going to be around people. It's a bit spicy, and I'm not sure if I liked the relationship between Hades and Persephone. There's a reason I didn't read the second book. Or listen to the second book. Okay. The Secret Garden by Frances Burnett. I feel like I'm saying it wrong, but I might not be. My brain is just telling me I'm wrong. It's a Secret Garden. There is a Secret Garden on this year's preteen teen reading challenge, but it's by Lois Gladys Labard. I think. I don't. My list is too far away. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that one. But it's okay. Secret Garden. Okay. Fruits Basket Volume 2. Good job. The Wisteria Society for Lady Scoundrels, the first book in The Dangerous Damsels. I listened to this one. This book is on my I need in book form. I want to read the next book in the series, but I haven't gotten it yet. You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. I made a video about this one. I really liked this one. Like, I want to work in a camp like that, but then at the same time, after what happens to our main character, I'm like, I really liked You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. I'm glad that I have it in book form. Bridge to Terabithia. Bethia? Anyway, that book, I talked about it. I still like it, but I don't know if I'd want my kid to read it for a while. I mean, she's 4, so. Spellbound, I listened to. Yeah, okay. I had to look at my, when I read it. Spellbound, which is the 3rd book in Weapons and Wilders by Andrew Rowe. I really like Andrew Rowe's work, and so the next few books will be about that. I read the 2nd book. I have no clue how to pronounce this. I listened to these. Dimetine, I think. That was the 2nd book. And then I read in ebook form, Like a Lily Among Thorns. The story had nothing to do with lily or thorns, and I almost didn't finish this book. It was just, I don't know, I couldn't get into this book. It took me a long time to read this. I was trying to read it to review it for a site, and I didn't make the deadline. And Fruits Basket Volume 1, and then the first book in the Wilders, Weapons and Wilders series, 6 Sacred Swords. I really liked. I listened to Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. If you're gonna listen to these, definitely find a dramatized one, because they are so good when they're dramatized. I read Neil Gaiman's Graveyard Book. It was pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good. I don't remember much about it, but I remember I enjoyed it, and I like the cover of the book. Back to Andrew Rowe. Part of the Arcane Ascension. I believe there's 5 or 6 books in the series. The Silence of Unworthy Gods. Listen to that. I read Spellbook of the Lost and Found. That one was really good. I want that one in book form too. It's about these kids who do a spell in the now, but a spell was done in the past, and they're connected, and I don't even have the words to explain it, but this book was like, wait, what? And the house that these kids in the now end up in was made by the dad of 2 of the kids, and so, like, technically it's their house, but because they're teenagers and underage, they're squatting in this house. It's crazy. And then, like, there's some time stuff, and It's witchy. It's witchy. I also, we're just gonna move on. It was good. I found this book by accident. Like, I was just walking around looking at books, and I found this book in the adult section of the library, and I was like, oh, that looks interesting, and I just got it, and I just checked it out. The third book in the Arcane Ascension, The Torch That Ignites the Stars. And my very first read of That's Not All the Books, because that one book's not on there. Fruits Basket Volume 3. This is not in order, it lies. Okay, I actually read 64 books. Then, because, I read, what's it called? Bone Houses. I listened to Bone Houses, and it's not on there. So 64 books? Is there anything else that maybe I didn't put it in? I have no clue. Anyway, 64 books from 2024 that I read / listened to, or ebook. That is all I have to talk about. I hope that you had, a good 2024, and let's hope that 2025 is even better. So if you liked this video, give me a thumbs up, and if you read or listened to any of the books that I read or listened to in 2024, let me know. I will. And comment below if you're going to do the 2025 challenge with me. I'll leave a link for the 2025 challenge in the description. I think if you click on it, and it might send me a thing to ask me if it's okay for you to have a copy. So I don't know how that, I keep getting emails about it, and I just say, the person can be a viewer, because I don't want anyone to mess up my challenge by changing things if you become an editor. I don't know how all that works, so you have to wait for me to give you permission. But if you go back and check later, you should have permission too. So, just give me a day to give you access to it. Sorry, I don't know how to make that available. I'm not good with stuff like that. Anyway, so let me know if you're doing the challenge too, and subscribe if you've gotten this far and you liked listening to me ramble on. And if you're not sure if you want to subscribe, you can click my face down here, and it'll take you to my channel. And if you want to hear about any of the books that I was like, oh, I made a video on that, you can click my face and then go to my playlist and click on 2024 reading challenges. And they should be there somewhere on that list. And share this video, because sharing is caring. And I hope that we all have a really good 2025, because I feel like we can only get better. No, probably not. I hope that 2025 is a good year. So, Happy New Year's, and yeah, let's ring in 2025. See you on my next video. Bye.